What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan 01 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at something that I was trying my hardest to get a hold of before I ended up going out to a different state and visiting up with iStar 552. But and I will totally post a picture with him and I in it. So, but anyways, um, so basically, while I was out, I was looking out and about. I was basically with iStar 552, and he goes, "Oh, hey, do you not have this one in your collection yet?" And he handed me a Transformers Studio Series number 88, Revenge of the Fallen, Deluxe Class, not Soundwave, Sideways. Now, I have been wanting this figure since it came out for two reasons. Number one, this is definitely not an Audi R8 for legal reasons that, Hasbro had to do that. So, but anyways, so what we're taking a look at here today is definitely going to be taking a look at the figure. And there is one issue that I have with my copy of the figure. I can't get this back piece to tab in properly at all. So if anybody could tell me how to fix this, then I would be super grateful. So, and the paint job on this door/arm here is like very, very janky. I feel like somebody just rushed it, did one little swipe, and called it good. Didn't even bother to dab it. Didn't even bother to dab and keep it clean. So, but other than that, it's a good figure. Now we're going to remove the figure off to the side here, and we're going to take a look at the box here. So on the box here, one little tidbit from what I was told and from the things that I know of. Pardon me, I have a cold. But the one thing that I was told is that this is based off of the video game version of Sideways. So this is not technically the Revenge of the Fallen one. This is the Revenge of the Fallen video game version. But at the same time, you could classify it as either or. But this looks more like the video game version than it does the actual Sideways. So, anyways, we're gonna move the packaging off to the side here. And we're going to bring the figure back in. And there you have Sideways. But before we take a look at him, we're going to be taking a look at his weapon accessory. And this weapon accessory was definitely an accessory that came with the video game character, not the actual Sideways, because we never saw him use this in the actual movie. So this piece here was definitely a video game attachment. So this is why I call this the video game version, not the actual real version. So anyways. So now that we've taken a look at the weapon, we can take a look at the figure. Now, the figure, once again, in car mode, is pretty cool. I dig the Audi R8 mode that they had to come up with on the spot because they lost the licensing to the Audi R8. Normally, there would be 4 of these back here, but because this is an Audi R8, it's definitely not. So, anywho, let's continue getting into some scale comparisons. That's right, scale comparisons. And we're going to be taking a look at the scale comparisons. The first one we're going to be taking a look at is here. He is next to the guy who cuts him in half. Here he is next to Revenge of the Fallen Side Swipe, Deluxe Class to be specific. Hold on here. There we go. So, there you go with that. Let's remove him off to the side. Here he is next to another Revenge of the Fallen character that was only just recently released, Here he is next to Revenge of the Fallen Jolt. Deluxe Class Jolt. And here he is next to Dark of the Moon, Soundwave, and Laserbeak. Only because, they're silver and Decepticon. I don't have any other Revenge of the Fallen Decepticons. I'm sorry. And here he is finally with the other concept vehicle that they had to come up with on the spot because they lost the licensing. Here he is next to Autobot Dino from Dark of the Moon. Studio Series, to be specific, too. Now let's get into the transformation. Now the transformation is fairly simple, and to get this whole thing started, we're going to start by lifting up this backpack here because this piece just does not like to tab in. And then we're going to take this section here, we're going to bring it out, and it should just kind of push itself out. We're going to bring it down like so, and we're going to bring this entire section out, and like so. We're going to then bring the arm out, close it up, take the hands, fold it in on this hinge, and then fold it back in on that hinge, and there you have an arm all done, or arm almost all done. Next is to bring the other arm down to this side as well. Bring this out just enough. That's going to angle the car head, the front piece of the car down just a little bit. Bring this out, and before I forget, I do want to flip this out. So let's do that before we forget. And then going to bring the hand piece in after we've closed it up, in, and then accordion it back in on itself, and there you have the other arm all done. Now, next part, I'm going to take this piece and we're going to fold it inward. Do the same thing on the other side. Just push and push it in like that. Take this top piece section because this is going to move. Bring it all the way back. And then you're going to come to the bottom section of the car and you're going to bring it down on an accordion hinge. You're going to untab the feet. They tab in there. Then you're going to untab the inner thigh from here. There's a little tab that goes in right there. Going to bring them all the way down, accordion it back up a little bit to give yourself some room. Bring it all the way down, straighten it all out. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring it down. Rotate the waist if you have to get everything all straightened out. Straighten out the legs like so. Then you're going to take these door panel pieces, you're going to untab them, bring them up like so. Then you're going to take this backpack section and we're going to bring it up, and we're going to then take this whole section here on the bottom as it gets straightened out like this. We're going to then push it all the way up as I zoomed out the camera, and the chest piece is going to tab in. There's a little tab right there. And then you're going to bring in on this hinge, you're going to bring this all the way up, and then make sure this is all flush. Make sure everything sits just properly. His chest does not like to stay put. Collapse the backpack all the way in to make sure it all stays nice and flush. And now you should not have any more of those problems. Make sure your chest pieces are squished together. Bring these up just enough if you feel like it. And then the arms are going to be a little difficult because we did not finish the arms. We're almost done. There's a little piece right in there. You're going to bring the arms all the way down, and then you're going to bring it all the way up like so. It's kind of hard to show off on camera. So this hinge in here, it's on a double hinge. You're going to bring it all the way in and up, and that's going to lock it into place. And this one's very, very thin. This one's a little bit easier to do. Let me see if I can get this one on camera. So the inner hinge, bring the arm down firstly, and then push the inner hinge up, and this one locks into place as well. And that way the arms do not flail around. And the only reason why I did that is because it's a little easier to do it when he's in robot mode to finish off the steps. So, and then make sure this hand is all closed up, and we're going to then give him his weapon. It has to be in this combination or something similar to that, and then you can just shove the hand on in there, and there you have Sideways in his robot mode. And there's a very, very obvious problem with him. It's that he does not like to stand very well. So we're going to try and get him to stand in it. Okay. Scoot you back off to the side here. And there we go. And there you have Sideways in his robot mode. Now, one thing I will give this studio series is that it is very, very, very gorgeous. And it's very, very nice. I love the fact that they actually did bother to do Sideways at all. I'm very, very pleased with that, because Sideways was a character that I personally wanted because I fell in love with the original 2009 toy. And the original 2009 toy, well, granted, was a little bigger, but at the same time, it had a gimmick that was really fun to mess with, and it was accurate. At least the vehicle mode was accurate. The vehicle modes were the most accurate thing about these Transformers, but the but the rest of it was just basically gimmicks and, oh, what can we get away with to actually call it a movie toy? And there were certain parts that were miscolored, and like, for example, I think one of his legs was red. I think part of his arms were red. One of his arms had a saw gimmick. That's about it from all of that. So, but here you have Sideways in his robot mode. And the one thing that I must say, let's zoom on in here. Look at that head sculpt. Hasbro, what have you done? You've outdone yourself this time. I am very excited about this figure. I'm very happy to have another Decepticon in my case that looks this beautiful. Like, seriously. Just, oh, wonderful. And here's the other thing, too. Why did you have to wait to give it to us in a 2-pack? Not real thrilled about that. So let's zoom back out here. Let's zoom it back out here. So that way we can get into some scale comparisons. Hooray! Now to gently move him off to the side. Face him on inward. No. You're not going to do that. As you can see, he's very, very, very fragile. So let's make sure we can keep him in a stable pose. So there we go. So here he is next to Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Deluxe Class Jolt. As you can see, they're about the same size if you're measuring by head. I mean, he's still a little smaller, but I mean, they're roughly the same size. And here he is next to Damn I'm Good, as I totally screw up his heel spurs. And here he is next to The Guy Who Outlives You. And here he is next to the other concept vehicle that had to be compromised for. So now, I think this figure is wonderful. If I was to give this figure a ranking, I would give it I think I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. I'm ranking it pretty high up there. The reason I give it 8.5 out of 10 is because, number one, we didn't really see much of Soundwave. We saw his robot mode for a grand total of maybe a minute at best, and it was all fast action paced. And then we got to see another dude cut him in half, so we didn't get to see this figure, or not even this figure, this character really shine. So, we didn't even get to see him become an Autobot. We didn't get to see him, do the whole thing for the movie. But I am grateful that they even bothered to recognize him at all, and they actually went with a design that wasn't too bad. They went with the video game design. This gun is proof they did the video game design, because we don't really see him do much with the gun in the movie. So, and we don't really see it at all. So, anyways, this is Thomas One saying, don't forget to check out our sponsor today, Planet Toys, a world built by collectors, where we just got some brand new stuff in stock. Yes, we did. Where you can get yourself one Tonkinator. You can get yourself a Tonkinator, and I'll leave a link to that product down in the description below if you want to check it out as well. So, if you do all of that stuff, you can use a code that we have going on the site. I'm pretty sure it's New Year 24, and if you use that code, I believe you get 20% off your entire order, so you can purchase Tonkinator for that. Or, not for that, but with that. And don't forget to check out Optination Reviews, Beastman Reviews, Riveted Reviews, Jordy's Rail Videos, Patrick with a Y, iStar552, Bravely GG, and Take Along Productions. They know they all do some amazing work, and they are working on projects that you would not believe are in the works. So, this is Thomas One saying, don't forget to keep playing with your toys. Don't forget it.